Hey guys, how's it going? It's Eli. Yep, that's right, you read the title, you know exactly what this video is. My most anticipated films for 2025. Well, we've now entered, in 2025, and for what's in store for this year's upcoming theatrical films, most coming to theaters, some making their way to streaming, etc., And by the way, because I've done these kind of videos before, most notably, I did one of these last year, so why not? And this is fun to do, is it not? And for some of you. So that's right. So, I'm sure some of you can tell, and because of the green screen backdrop, what are some of my most anticipated films? And I'm going to mention a couple of others where, yeah, the posters are not on the green screen backdrop, but still, you get the point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what will be coming out this year, and I'd like to try to see some of these on the big screen. Yeah, I mean, especially for what is on the green screen backdrop, yeah, I would definitely love to attempt to see some of them, Besides, some of these films, you just gotta see in theaters, right? I mean, for last year, some of my most anticipated films were, say, Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Beetlejuice. Now, those three films I got to see in theaters, and I did vlogs on them, yeah. And a couple of others, some that I didn't get to see in theaters, but, anyways. So, what I'm looking forward to, and what are some of my most anticipated films, well, I'm going to talk about them random and such, like I've technically done before, so, yeah. So, first off, what's in store this year for the MCU? Marvel, yeah. And how, well, since we've now entered in 2025, we only have 1 year until the next Avengers film comes out. Yeah, so, for what's in store this year for the MCU, well, there's Captain America, Brave New World, Fantastic Four, First Steps, and Thunderbolts. These three I'm looking forward to. Most notably, that goes for, say, Brave New World and Fantastic Four. No hard feelings on Thunderbolts, and yeah, unfortunately, it's not on the green screen backdrop, but still, I am looking forward to Thunderbolts. The MCU these days, they've had their hits and misses, and, there would be one material from the MCU that, oh, this is epic, then the next, especially since last year, Deadpool and Wolverine was the only movie in the MCU to come out. Marvel Studios was putting their focus on that for last year, and as of this year, yeah, we are once again getting the tradition of usually getting 3. Usually it would sometimes be 2, but sometimes it would be 3. So for this year, it's 3. It's hard to tell how each of these 3 upcoming Marvel films will turn out. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll turn out pretty good. I hope so. They look really awesome so far, with the trailers that have come out, mostly for Brave New World and Thunderbolts. Nothing really yet for Fantastic Four. Besides, apparently, yeah, and I've seen this, where, a trailer for the new Fantastic Four film did get leaked out, and it was apparently shown at D23, so, yeah, and if any of you saw that too. Yeah, especially, Brave New World, it's had, had to go through 3 reshoots or something? Jeez. I don't know, I mean, I'm sure as though that, yeah, Marvel Studios wants the next Captain America film to be really good, and the fact that this is the first Captain America film not to have Steve Rogers / Captain America, the original, and no Chris Evans whatsoever. Now, the handing of the shield being passed to Sam, aka the Falcon, now the new Captain America. And not to mention the fact that we're finally getting Harrison Ford in the MCU, replacing the late William Hurt, taking over the role of General Ross, now President Ross. And the fact that we're going to finally see Red Hawk on the big screen, and even though it's not going to be What's-Him-Face anymore, it's now going to be Harrison Ford, well, it's still going to be awesome, I hope as though that, for each of the 3 Marvel films, they could turn out pretty good. We'll just have to wait and see. You never know until they do come out, and yeah. And Thunderbolts, well, yeah. Again, I am looking forward to Thunderbolts, especially because it's the MCU's like very own version of the Suicide Squad, something like that in that same vein. And whom is going to be in this, and whom the members are of the Thunderbolts, yeah. And especially since we're once again getting good old Florence Pugh, who doesn't love her in the MCU, and Yelena, I'm saying her name right, and the Guardian, David Harbour, Bucky Barnes, the Ghost, and the original Captain America, who was supposed to be the next Captain America, but yeah, we all know what happened in the Falcon Winter Soldier. And because, the Thunderbolts is basically about these batch of characters who did some horrible things, but they're trying to redeem themselves, and that being what Thunderbolts is like. Not to mention, I heard about this, that some of the writers from the Hulu original series The Bear is attached to this, and they're some of the writers. Interesting, even though I'm not really into The Bear still, but I can tell that there could be promise, and especially since it's coming from them. Yeah, so, and as for the Fantastic Four film, well, it's nice to see that they've changed the title a little bit, because some of the previous Fantastic Four films, how they were named, yeah, we need something different, and it's nice to see that, yeah, Fantastic Four, The First Steps, yeah, something to go with Fantastic Four in the title, Whom is going to be the 4 members of Fantastic Four? Nice picks, and it's going to be awesome. And most notably, Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic. Oh, yeah. And also, the fact that we're going to be getting the appearance of Galactus. Also, if any of you knew about this, John Malkovich, who's one of the cast members for the new Fantastic Four film, apparently it's supposedly, and I'm kind of on board with this, because I've done my research, and on whom he could potentially be in the new Fantastic Four film, the Red Ghost. Now, I mentioned this to each of my parents, my mom having no clue who the Red Ghost is, but my dad, he knows who the Red Ghost is. And again, I did my research on the Red Ghost, his appearance in the comics, and the fact that he's one of the enemies of the Fantastic Four, and even, say, him being in some of the Marvel animated shows, materials, some of the video games. He looks like a pretty cool villain, especially with the accent he's got. I can totally picture John Malkovich as that character. And maybe possibly he could be, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm sure as though that maybe, and maybe more than likely, maybe we'll get the Red Ghost, but we're gonna have to wait and see, and until they confirm this themselves, Marvel Studios, that is. But yeah, just overall, the 3 new upcoming Marvel films for this year, can't wait. Okay, so, next up, and to stay on the subject of comic book films, the new upcoming Superman film, part of the new DC universe run by James Gunn. Good thing I stopped myself. Was I almost about to say James Cameron? Wrong James, sorry. Yeah, so, the new upcoming Superman film, written and directed by James Gunn, a part of the new DC comic book universe, again, led by James Gunn, along with, I forget the other guy's name, who's co-running DC with James Gunn. Yeah. Well, we've, of course, gotten the first official teaser trailer for the film, and, of course, me and my dad, we did our reaction to that, and I didn't ask for it. Granted, I always like seeing any video that is posted on the Little Blue channel to get a good amount of views. This one, holy cow, I was not expecting it. Neither was my dad. And yeah, I should have seen it coming where, you know, there would be some commenters, you know, toxic and such, you know. But at the same time, there have been, and I've seen them, of course, some positive and nice comments, and some of them how, like me, how they feel so far about the new upcoming Superman film. Well, so far, I don't know. I am looking forward to this. Not to mention because, you know, I've actually started watching the first Superman films. Some I'm rewatching, but some I'm watching for the first time. Just a few, okay? So, that I'm watching for the first time. Take a good guess what they are. Yeah, and not to mention, of course, later on, and when the new Superman film comes out, I, of course, am planning on doing a special review marathon, you know, so yeah. Yeah, but again, so far, and what was shown in the teaser trailer for, the new Superman film, yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Like, whom is going to be playing Superman for this? From Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, a couple of members of the Justice League that are appearing in this, and also Krypto the Superdog. Nice visuals and the flying shots. And I've talked about this before. The flying shots of Superman for this, according to James Gunn, were inspired by the flying shots in Top Gun Maverick. And that's saying something. Not to mention, you know, how people were feeling at first towards the Superman suit. Yeah, I know, but for me personally, it looks fine to me, and especially now that we've seen more of it, most notably in the teaser trailer. Even James Gunn himself stated this, that he didn't want any muscle marks or anything like that on the suit, and yeah, that's nice to hear. Besides, look at the original Superman suit for Christopher Reeve, and even before him, 2 other actors who played Superman. They didn't have any muscle markings or anything like that on the Superman suit. They were just plain-looking Superman suits. Now, granted, you know, we can see a little bit of their muscles through the suits, but that was it, and that worked perfectly fine. Why are people complaining about this now? Just, I don't know. But also, they've been complaining of the fact that it looks too big on him. I don't know, I mean, okay, surely they would have to measure, you know, what's-in-face who's playing Superman and how it would look on him, right? It's obvious, so, I don't know. But yeah, just overall, I look forward to the new Superman film, and until we get a new trailer. Now, my dad talked about this when we did our reaction, that maybe possibly, and because we got the teaser trailer last month, well, more than likely, the next trailer we'll be getting will more than likely come out during around the Super Bowl, because you know the Super Bowl, they usually show trailers for the most anticipated epic films, right? So Superman being one of them. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But just overall, yeah, I'm eager and looking forward to the new Superman film. In my opinion, you know, I'm entitled to my opinion, so are you, on how we so far feel on the new Superman film and James Gunn taking over, yeah. Also, remember, like I mentioned a little earlier with Fantastic Four, like the title to the new Fantastic Four film being a bit different, not for the new Superman film's case, because it's just being called Superman. Now, originally it was going to be called Superman Legacy, but as of now, especially, now it's just going to be called Superman. I mean, look, we've technically already had a Superman film that was just called Superman, right? But, well, I think as of now, the very first Superman film from '78, it is now called Superman the Movie. Okay, but still, if they could have put something in the title for the new Superman film, possibly, I don't know, but I'm just saying, and you get the point. But overall, yeah, I look forward to it. The new upcoming Superman film, part of the new DC comic book universe, led by James Gunn. Yeah. Okay. So, next up, well, I think I pretty much talked about, you know, all of the upcoming comic book films for this year. Let's talk about The Gorge. Yeah, The Gorge. That's coming straight to Apple TV. I had already done a reaction to the the upcoming Apple TV original movie, The Gorge, in one of the past reactions to trailers. And if you've seen my reaction to it and saw my reaction and what I've had to say about it, this film I'm actually looking forward to. It looks pretty interesting, and the direction that this movie is taking, the feel and vibe to it, it's got great cast of people in this. Yeah, I can't wait. And until there's a new trailer, of course I'll definitely plan on reacting to it. The Gorge, well, not much really to say, because, you know, I've technically already talked about what I've said in my reaction to it, but still, I'm definitely gonna give this a watch. And probably it will become one of my top favorite movies, because it seems like it could be. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this turns out, and the direction of its story, and what happens with these characters, most notably the two main characters on, you know, different sides of the gorge, and when they come together, it'll be awesome. Yeah. And what about you guys? I mean, you know, any of you that are looking forward to The Gorge, and if you're interested in it, just, yeah, let me know if you feel the same way as I do about it. But yeah, overall, The Gorge, I can't wait. Next up, let's see. Well, why not, I talk about this now. For this year, we're getting 2 Frankenstein movies, one from Guillermo del Toro and one from Warner Brothers. Guillermo del Toro is doing his own movie adaptation of Frankenstein, and, well, what's-her-face, who's the writer and director of The Bride, and it's going to be straight from Warner Brothers. Christian Bale is playing the monster, and I'm definitely interested and down to see these. Most notably, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Oh yeah. Like, okay, no hard feelings on The Bride, but you know, still, it seems as though that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is the most anticipated one. Whom is casted in each of the 2 upcoming Frankenstein films? Great choices. Yeah, great cast members for these 2 upcoming Frankenstein films. But also, I heard about this where I think some people, even, I've seen a clip of this on Howard Stern's radio show where, you know, complaints about hot guys playing the monster. Really? Or why are we complaining about that? It's kind of stupid. I mean, come on, surely Boris Karloff, he was a good-looking guy, and the whole thing of the role of the monster, you know, being for, you know, ugly-looking guys, I don't know, but overall, because, yeah, it doesn't bother me, and, you know, whom each of the 2 actors are playing the monsters in these 2 Frankenstein films. What's-him-face from the Kissing Booth movies that's playing the monster in Del Toro's Frankenstein film, and Christian Bale, who's playing the monster in The Bride. Grrr. Yeah, you heard that clip, right? Because, as I mentioned, Howard Stern, because... he, you know, going on about himself that, you know, he could have played the role of the monster, and him, you know, and then them playing a clip from Ed Wood. If you've seen Ed Wood, you know, because Bela Lugosi, Martin Landau, you know, having a grudge towards Boris Karloff, you know, it's that, you know, that makeup and that glotti, yeah, so why not? For the fun of it. And I just got a kick out of that, watching that clip from when Howard Stern was talking about the 2 upcoming Frankenstein films. Just why not? Yeah. Anyways, so enough of that. But just overall, I look forward to these 2 upcoming Frankenstein films, what each of them have to offer, and with their directions. Hopefully as though they could turn out pretty good. And I'm sure especially that goes for Del Toro's Frankenstein film. Not to mention, the Frankenstein story is one of Del Toro's favorites. I'm pretty sure that this had been a dream come true of Del Toro's to direct his very own Frankenstein film. Don't you think? Yeah. But just overall, yeah. In closing on the 2 Frankenstein films, they seem like they're going to be pretty awesome, and I can't wait for the two of them. One more time. Grrr! Okay, so, next up, and you know what, to stay on the same track as with, what I just talked about, the two upcoming Frankenstein films, another film that's in that same territory, horror and monsters and creatures and such, Sinners. And this being another film that's coming straight from Warner Brothers as The Bride. Sinners, I'm definitely looking forward to, and I've seen, reacted to the trailer, and along with me, my dad, if any of you saw that, it looks like the Sinners could be pretty good. Not to mention, the same guy who brought us the two Black Panther films, the director that is, and What's-Him-Face, Ludwig, who did the music and score for the Black Panther films, as well as The Mandalorian, gonna be doing the music and score for this. And great cast of people from Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, yeah. And this being about vampires, and I've read the description / the story, and yeah, just overall, this intrigues me. I'm definitely gonna give this a watch, and hopefully, yeah, I would love to see this in theaters. There's really not that much to say about it since, let me tell you, the trailer for The Sinners, and according to a lot of people, it's one of those trailers that we hadn't gotten in a long time, where it doesn't give away, say, that much of the plot or story. So, yeah, there you go. So, what more do I have to say? But, when we get another trailer for Sinners and such, then we'll have more to say, and that, of course, goes for me, and when I do my reaction to it. But just overall, I look forward to The Sinners. Yep, it intrigues me, and with whom is going to be in it, with its story, need I go on? Yeah, I can't wait. Okay, so, moving on. Let's see. Well, now let's jump right to Disney. Well, first off, Zootopia 2. Yeah, Zootopia 2, the long-awaited sequel to the first Zootopia film, and even in between the first Zootopia film and Zootopia 2, we had gotten Zootopia Plus. That was pretty good. And the fact that Zootopia Plus took place before, in the middle, and after the first Zootopia film, literally, smack down during the first one. What Zootopia 2 is going to offer, and what we know so far, because reptiles are stepping in Zootopia, and most notably, one of the main characters for the sequel is going to be a snake named Gary, voiced by Short Round himself. You know who I'm talking about. Now an Oscar-winning actor, also best known from being in The Goonies. Cannot forget to mention that. And of course, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, that movie that got him that Oscar, rightfully so. It's exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to Zootopia 2. Cannot miss out seeing this in theaters. And the fact that we are finally getting some reptiles, and, because, the first Zootopia film, reptiles were left out. But technically, Disney has had at least, one movie that I know of, which being Robin Hood, where, in a world where everybody's an animal, well, there was at least one reptile, and that, of course, being Sir Hiss. So that being an example. But overall, I look forward to when Zootopia comes out, and the more we get, and when when an official, because we haven't not yet gotten a trailer for Zootopia. But despite the fact that a little bit of footage was shown at D23, and I'm sure you've seen that too. I have, of course. But once we do, the more we have to say, and what we can expect some more in Zootopia 2, can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, so overall, I can't wait for Zootopia 2, and I'm sure the same goes for some of you. Okay, so, staying on track with Disney, well, actually, because, might as well talk about them at the same time, because, well, this year, two big upcoming live-action films that we're getting, one from Disney and one from DreamWorks and Universal, Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon, especially since, well, those two are Chris Sanders' projects, and those are his babies, along with his animation buddy, Dean Diopoulos, if I'm saying his last name right, and who rightfully so is the writer and director for the live-action How to Train Your Dragon film. I am looking forward to both of these films. It seems as though that... Yeah. Everybody seems to be more excited for Lilo and Stitch than, say, the Snow White live-action film. But say what you will still about the live-action Snow White. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm gonna give it a shot, of course, but yeah. But especially, yeah, for Lilo and Stitch, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Because it seems like Lilo and Stitch is one of those Disney films that can work so well in live action. And the fact we are finally getting it after waiting like, what, 1 or 2 years for this? Now it's finally happening, and what we had gotten so far, and until we get more, like when another trailer comes out, and if more than likely a new trailer comes out around the time of the Super Bowl, yeah, and seeing all the other characters, most notably the other alien characters from Jumba, Pleakley, Gantu, Grand Councilwoman, need I go on? And how it's going to look in live action in Hawaii, just, what more do I have to say? I can't wait for this. Even my mom is looking forward to this too. Ever since I showed her what Stitch is going to look like, she's just in all awe. I'm sure the same goes for some of you. But yeah, overall, I can't wait for Lilo and Stitch, the upcoming live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. And for How to Train Your Dragon, the upcoming live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, this being the first ever live-action remake, gotta slow down, for DreamWorks. Awesome. Now that we had gotten a teaser for this, and my mom had seen it, and let me tell you, my mom, she definitely loves anything How to Train Your Dragon. And it seems as though that, yeah, she is looking forward to this. Especially after seeing the trailer, how the dragons look, most notably Toothless, and the fact we're getting Jared Butler back, playing Stoic, Hiccup's father, and whom else is going to be playing the live-action parts of the characters. Good choices, in my opinion. And the fact that Dean, what's his last name? Like I said, he's coming back to be the writer and director of this, rightfully so. And even he talked about this at times, like he's looking forward to it and promising with what he had to say. Yeah, overall, I can't wait for the upcoming live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. Hopefully, this will turn out pretty good. And, it's a shame because Chris Anders has no involvement in the live-action remake. Surely he knows about this, and I'm sure as though he's approved of this, and if he's seen any of this, we'll see. I mean, and the same goes for Lilo and Stitch. We know that he's involved in it, most notably for being the voice of Stitch, coming back to reprise the voice role, rightfully so, for Experiment 626, Stitch. Yeah, but just overall, again, we'll just have to wait and see how each of these two upcoming live-action remakes turn out. They may turn out pretty good, but overall, we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, and the last remaining movies I want to mention and talk about that, again, not all of them are on the green screen backdrop, but still, like, there's, of course, the final Mission Impossible film, Pixar's new upcoming film that was delayed for, from last year, now moved for, coming this year, Elio, as well as, say, the Minecraft movie, and a few others that I can't think of, but yeah, I am looking forward to them, and I don't know, for the Minecraft movie, I'm willing to give it a shot. I know that some people are not thrilled by this, but I don't know. I feel as though that when the second trailer for the Minecraft movie came out, I think some people, if I'm correct, might have had some positive things to say, and maybe like the attitudes were like, okay, just we'll see, but I don't know. Well, yeah, but overall, I'm down to give the Minecraft movie a shot. And as for, like, say, Mission Impossible and Elio, oh, yeah, of course, I can't wait for those. Nice to see that, we are, of course, finally going to see Elio, despite the fact that, again, it got delayed and got pushed back for this year, but not to mention, it went through a rewrite, and, like, 1 or 2 voice cast members got replaced. Well, Most notably, that's American Ferrera, who got replaced by Zoe Saldana. Not a huge major, change and such. Zoe Saldana, I'm sure though she'll turn out pretty good. But it is nice that we are still going to get Brad Garrett. Now, if Brad Garrett was replaced, that would be a bad thing, yeah, and the fact that Elio is going to be Pixar's, third science fiction-y film, and maybe this one can turn out pretty good. I mean, let's face it, WALL-E. Now, talk about WALL-E being a Pixar masterpiece, but for, say, Lightyear, well, it could have turned out better than what was expected. But in my opinion, I thought Lightyear wasn't that bad. I mean, it can never top off, say, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. That's what everybody refers, I should say. Even I do too. But again, no hard feelings on Lightyear. So for Elio, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe this could turn out pretty good. And for the final Mission Impossible film, don't get me wrong, I am looking forward to it. But it's not really up there being one of my top most anticipated films. I'm just saying. Again, I'm looking forward to it. Not to mention, I do have a planned upcoming review marathon, because with the final Mission Impossible film. I think it's obvious, yeah. And even despite the fact, there being a community post of this, if it's... And as I record this, I haven't posted it yet, but I think by now it would have been out or such, but, anyways. And if there's any other movies that I know of that are coming out this year, but I can't think of, yeah, I am looking forward to them as well, and so on, yeah. And as for, because I didn't do this last year, and neither for this one, because what's coming out on TV, most notably streaming and such, well, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to what's coming up on, say, most notably Disney Plus, and all the other streaming platforms. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I look forward to those too. But mainly, this video is about, movies and, what I'm looking forward to the most that's coming out, rather in theaters or streaming and such, yeah. But yeah, just overall, that's going to do it for this video. All that I've talked about, and, my most anticipated movies for this year, which I can't wait to see. If, hopefully I can attempt to see a good chunk of them in theaters, maybe possibly, but who knows as of right now. Just have to wait and see, and I'm sure the same goes for you guys. So, overall, that is my list of my most anticipated films for 2025, and yeah, I can't wait for these films when they come out and so on, yeah. And what about you guys? What do you think of, what I've talked about in this video, my most anticipated films for 2025? Any of these that you're looking forward to as well? Feel free to let me know in the comments section your own list of your most anticipated films for 2025, what your thoughts are on these upcoming films, and with what I've had to say, your opinions and such, yeah. And yeah, again, what did you think of this video? Leave comments and give this video a like as always. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my most anticipated films for 2025. Again, I look forward to when each of these films come out in theaters, streaming. Yeah, what more do I have to say? I just can't wait. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace out.